Yo, what's up, people? This is an Forex Pro, and today is Tuesday, 9/13/2022. Today we had some crazy news that came out uh, from the states, and it was CPI and core CPI. Now, in my just previous times watching CPI, when it comes to news, especially, it's always crazy. You never really know what you're gonna get, what's gonna happen. And this is one of the reasons why I don't trade news until after 10 minutes. And then I look for opportunities in the market. And by the way, I do wait 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after. And if I have a trade open or something like that, which I don't even trade before news, I like to trade after news so that I can see where market's going to go to, where liquidity is looking to take out levels, because that's what we want. We want the market to unfold its hand. It's like playing a game of poker, right? You want the other person to show us their hand, to show us when they're weak, when they're at their weakest, at least. Sometimes we're going to get it, sometimes we're not. Now today there wasn't any trade that I could have placed, but I would like to say, if you're going to study ICT, this is how I would study it. Because even if you have your plan ready and ready to execute, as how I've outlined in just like my little mini course that I created, there's a playlist for that. You can find it. Now, keep in mind that all that is based around ICT Mentorship 2022. So if you haven't seen that, please go to ICT Mentorship 2022, look it up, watch all of that. And if you're still confused about that, then you can come back to the mini course, and I pretty much outline my rules. But anyways, so once you're done with all that, you still want to continue studying, you still want to continue learning ICT, and you don't want to lose that muscle, right? Because a lot of people just look at the course and you're like, okay, well, now what? What do I do with it? And so, you got to apply. You got to apply what you learn. And if you didn't learn anything, or if you feel that you're confused, um, then you go back and you go through it again, and then you apply what you learn. Even if you feel like you're kind of not doing the right thing, that's how it's going to feel every time you try something new. You're going to be bad at it. So just be okay with that. Okay. But anyways, I want to go over euro dollar today, because it was a crazy move. So what I like to do is I do like to add my previous weekly levels, and then also I've started adding weekly previous levels too. So when I look at the market, I'm not going to add all of them. I'm just going to add kind of where I can see the market going in that direction, and I'll add the weekly level right here. You can see that. And then I'll also add the daily levels as well too. And then as the market's breaking through them, I'll draw like a little circle here just to show that it already crossed through. There's no need to worry about that level. So the next one would be this one down here. You can see my mouse, right? So anyways, just to go over this. So the market came up in here. This was actually yesterday, Monday. I came in here, finally filled in this fair value gap in here. This was a weekly and a daily fair value gap. You can see the market closed below it, right? It overshot the level, closed below. And you can see now the market started heading straight down, right? And it took out this level. But the reason why it headed straight down was due to the CPI news that was unleashed at 8:30 Eastern. And so you can see the market during London session, it traded higher here in the 240 minute. You can see this was a high here. You have a lower high to the left, lower high to the right. Right? You have that. And then here is a low too. This is also a low that was rebalanced from this fair value gap, by the way. This is why it traded higher. Didn't make it to the top here. And then it shot straight back down. And so let me jump down to a 60 minute. You can see a lot more clear what I'm kind of looking at here. And so you can see it. This is the block right here that ICT talks about. And so he also mentions if as long as it doesn't get above, or it doesn't close above the 50% area. At least that's how I understood it. If I'm wrong, then y'all can go ahead and correct me. As long as it doesn't close above, then this market will start going lower. And so you can see that happening here. This was at the 8 a.m. So let me drop down to a 15-minute now. You can see the market going higher, higher, higher. Finally, news broke out 8:30, and then it crashed straight down. Keep in mind, I pretty much just have my levels outlined here. Like for example, I usually like to look at my 60-minute here. This is a low. Down here, all this was a gap from the weekend, and then obviously this was a low too that I'm looking at, and then obviously the red lines are my daily levels, right? So I kind of already have them. I don't need to I'll usually just draw a low here. This would be an intraday, just because this is the daily, and then obviously this is another daily low, and this is an intraday. So I'll draw all my levels in here, and then once I see the market after the news, I'll be able to go jump to my 60-minute, right? Because I'm not really looking for a trade. There's no need for me to be on the 5-minute. So I'll just stay on the 60-minute or 15-minute time frame because there's nothing for me to do. And then I'll just wait for news to come out. And once I see the market, once again, I wait 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after. And I'll let it do its thing. And I'm not going to do anything until 10 minutes after. And so once we start seeing the levels get taken out, then we can start jumping into a 5-minute chart here. And so you can see there's obviously no setup at all right here, right? And so even when it came down into to take out this daily low, you'd also see there was also no setup here to buy long. The only setup I see here, however, even though I don't trade this time zone, you can see the market, because it traded so low, so hard. This actually would have been a trade right there. That could have been a continuation trade. Now keep in mind, I'm not comfortable taking these type of trades. I know ICT does it. I'm pretty sure he would have. Obviously, this is still actually he probably would have not, because he waits until 1:30 Eastern. He doesn't trade the lunch hour, so never mind. He would have not taken that trade. This actually would have been a trade to have been able to take. So not this one, but you can see this one here. However, the market didn't get all the way up there, and then that would have been the sell. This is pretty much a continuation trade here, and that's pretty much it. But anyways, there was actually other trades that I did take a look at. So even though there was no trades to the opposite side of where liquidity was taken, there was one that I did take note of, and that was for dollar CAD. And so once again, I did not take it, and you can see my levels. I'm drawing them right here. I'm drawing my levels here, and then obviously I drew this one right there. Oops. And so you can see here, let's jump down straight to the 5-minute. As soon as that level was taken out, you can see the market ran up about 36 points, right, above the level. After that level, there really wasn't anything else. And what I mean by that, let me show you. I'm gonna bring my cat over here. You can see here, as it took out all these daily highs, the next daily high, because it took out the most recent one right here. I'll put that up here. I'm gonna lock that. Okay. And so you can see it took out all these daily highs, and so because it took out this last daily high, you could see the market. Actually, it was pretty much just. Let me draw this. I actually deleted them. Let me just go ahead and bring this one down here too. And then let me bring this one down here too. So, obviously this was the daily level that I have already set in stone, which is this one here. And then obviously I have this other level here, which is an intraday level. That's my green line. And so you can see from here to there, it didn't go above this daily level. So this is actually a good thing, good moment to take a trade. And this is what I'm starting to notice. And this is one thing that ICT mentions. He mentions it in the videos, by the way. I don't remember what video, but I know he mentions it in some of his other trainings. That if the market goes anywhere from 10 to 20 points, it's a very good likelihood, right, that it's gonna reverse back down, right? So that's 10 to 20 points. You can even write that as your notes. But if it goes above that, anything above 30 points or whatever, which he doesn't say that, but he just mentions that anything above 20 points, it would mean that the market will most likely continue in the in the direction that it's going. So in this case, it's buying. So just a lot of buying pressure, and that's really what happened today, where the market broke out through the level, still didn't get above the daily, but that's a good thing because that means you can go long, and then it went up. It went up 37 points from this level, and so you can see here it actually created a nice setup, continuation trade, because you can see the market. Let me just do this real quick. Took out sell stops here on the 5-minute, took out buy stops, and you can see fair value gap is right here. And you can see the market, this would be the buy opportunity to take it long. And then, you could either sell here, or for first targets, and the second target would be the next daily level right there. You can see the market got up to that area very nicely after lunch session. And even the lunch session, you can see that here too. So I mean, all of this, I'm not taking it as just leaving it like that, and then seeing the setup with ICT, and I'm not just learning. I'm not just like as ICT mentions, right, a one-trick pony. I'm really trying to evolve in my own trading, and so being able to take these type of trades would definitely be it's always good to just learn more and continue to learn. And so, like I said, these are just notes that I'm taking myself, even though I did not take the trade, just because the news was at the 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And then for news, I usually wait about an hour and a half. If there is nothing going on, by 7 a.m., especially with continuation trades, like it's just especially with the bias and everything, I usually like to stop at 7 a.m. and this candle here, this didn't break until after that. I'm really no longer interested anymore, and I'm really just not as focused as I was, during the 8:30 a.m. Eastern. But anyways, it really just depends. What are your rules? Are you willing to take these type of continuation trades? Are you able to adapt very fast and be able to switch gears, right? Because as the market's going here, I'm looking for the setup to sell here, right? I'm not really looking to buy it. And like I said, so what I'm explaining here are really just notes that I had on my end, so that if I see it again, I can consider it for the next time. But keep in mind that you still gotta do some back testing, go through it, get confident on this particular type of setup to take it the other way. And so, anyways, these are all just learning opportunities, and I wanted to talk about that. But yeah, anyways, I didn't do anything today. It's a nothing for me today. I'm still going through the challenge, and we'll see what this week brings. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.